In this presentation, you will learn about Garfinkel and ethnomethodological inquiry. Garfinkel's studies in ethnomethodology firmly established ethnomethodology as a unique field of inquiry that tries to understand the methods people use to make sense of the world. Garfinkel emphasized the role of language in the construction of reality. For Garfinkel, to do interaction is to tell interaction. The primary folk technique used by actors is verbal description. As a result, people rely on accounts to create a sense of reality. For example, when a student explains to the professor why he or she couldn't give an exam, he or she is offering an account. The student is attempting to make sense of the situation to provide an explanation to the professor. Ethnomethodologists use a process called ethnomethodological indifference, where they do not judge the nature of accounts but study how the accounts are used in real world action. They are interested in the accounts and the strategies used by the speaker and listener to comprehend, accept, and reject the accounts. Garfinkel gave emphasis to indexicality, or a reality that members' accounts are linked to a particular social context. Garfinkel used empirical research to validate their assumptions about what is real. One of his research methods was known as a breaching experiment, in which the normal course of interaction is purposefully interpreted, disrupting temporarily the world that individuals take for granted and see how they react. In a breaching experiment, the researcher purposely breaks a social norm or behaves in a socially awkward manner. The goal of this is to reveal background assumptions that have been accepted as reality for a long time. His breaching experiments tested sociological concepts of social norms and conformity. He argues that the only way to discover how we make sense of the events is to observe what happens when we break them. He reports a series of conversations in which the student experimenters challenged every statement of selected subjects. One of these exchanges ran as follows. Friend, how are you? Student volunteer, how am I in regard to what? My health, my finances, my schoolwork, my peace of mind, my. The friend, red in the face and suddenly out of control. Look, I was trying to be polite. Frankly, I don't give a damn how you are. Why would a friend get so upset so quickly? In this situation, the experimenter was deliberately violating an underlying rule for this type of interaction. In any interaction, there are certain implicit features that everyone should grasp and not question in order to carry out their everyday conversational affairs without disruption. Such strategies direct everyday activities and are critical in the formation of the idea that an external social order exists among interacting individuals. Through breaching, Garfinkel hoped to discover the implicit ethnomethods by forcing actors to actively participate in the process of reality construction after the situation has been disrupted. For Garfinkel, the stability and meaningfulness of our daily social lives are dependent on the sharing of unstated cultural assumptions about what is said, and why, if we were not able to take these for granted, meaningful communication would not be possible. Any question or contribution to a conversation would have to be followed by a massive search procedure of the sort Garfunkel's subjects were told to practice, and interaction would simply break down. What seems at first sight to be unimportant conventions of talk, therefore turn out to be crucial to the very fabric of social life, which is why their violation is so serious. In everyday life, people occasionally feign ignorance of unstated facts. This may be done with the intention to rebuke others, poke fun at them, cause embarrassment, or point out a double meaning in what was said. In one of his experiments, Garfinkel asks students to act as guests in their own homes, recording their parents' reactions as they attempted to understand the breakdown of their long term informal relationship with their children. Consider, for example, this all too typical exchange between parent and teenager. Parent, where are you going? Teenager, out. Parent, what are you going to do? Teenager, nothing. In the above example, the teenager provides no appropriate answers at all, essentially saying, mind your own business. Comedy and joking thrive on such deliberate misunderstandings of the unstated assumptions involved in talk. There is nothing threatening about this so long as the parties concerned recognize that the intent is to provoke laughter. By delving into the everyday world which we all inhabit, Garfinkel shows us that the normal, smooth running social order that some sociologists simply take for granted is in fact a social process of interaction which has to be continually reproduced over the course of everyday interactions. In his breaching experiments, Garfinkel was able to demonstrate the robustness of daily life. Social reality may be socially constructed, but this is a hard construction that cannot be ignored. Breaching experiments are used to investigate and discover the various unwritten social rules that control our lives. The breaching experiments illustrate the persistence of social reality since the subjects move quickly to normalize the breach, that is, to render the situation accountable in familiar terms. It is considered that the way people handle these breaches tells us much about how they handle their everyday lives. Although these experiments seem harmless, they frequently lead to strong emotional reactions. These strong reactions reflect how crucial it is for people to engage in ordinary common sense activities. Garfinkel's research strategy illustrates the general intent of ethnomethodological inquiry to penetrate natural social settings or create social settings in which the investigator can observe humans attempting to assert, create, maintain, or change rules for constructing the appearance of consensus over the structure of the real world. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.